I know you're somewhere, somewhere. I'm trapped in.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Lion's Den. Today, I'm going to be doing a reading on Baekhyun. So this is sort of like both a health and a romance reading, because I was seeing some cards that kind of came up in his reading that kind of hinted towards some sort of relationship. So we're gonna go ahead and get into that. Okay. So we're gonna start off with the personality reading. And I'm going to attempt to make this as short as possible. And y'all know a lot of times it don't happen with these kinds of readings. So I'm going to try to avoid doing a part one and part two, but sometimes it can't be helped. So before I get started, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, please. Thank you for watching, and leave a comment in the comment section on what other topics I should read on, as well as follow me on Twitter. Link will be in this description, and that way you can vote on polls and also message me on what other things you would like to have readings on. So starting off with Baekhyun's personality reading, we have the Avenger. So the Avenger, it kind of fell out on its side. So that means that Baekhyun is can be both have both traits of these. So the Avenger in the lighter aspect talks about the desire to balance the scales of justice, righteous on behalf of society itself. And the negative part of it is talking about resorting to violence in the name of cause. So it's kind of talking about Baekhyun having a sort of tendency to he's very vocal against what he believes in, what he stands for, what he's for, and also what he's against. But it also talks about how Baekhyun can become physical. Baekhyun can get type aggressive sometimes when it comes to getting things that he wants or anything of that sort. Okay, so what also came out, I guess I'll start from this end, is the magical child. Okay, child magical. And this was in the shadow aspect. So the shadow attributes are pessimism, depression, disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. Okay, so I feel like Baekhyun is he is a childish person, but it's a magical charm to him. But see that childish behavior, and that charm that he has also comes with mostly negative side effects for him. And what stood out to me is believing that energy and action are not required for growth. And I feel like Baekhyun, it's talking about Baekhyun not really wanting to put that much energy into growing and maturing and changing for the better. Okay. It could also be talking about Baekhyun having some sort of depression or mental, something mental going on that he doesn't want to talk about. Okay. So we also have the Saboteur card. This is in the lighter aspect, right? So this is talking about highlights the fear of self empowerment um, and changes it would bring to your life. Sorry, the struggle was real, but highlights your fear for self-empowerment and changes it would bring to your life. So it's talking about him being afraid to sort of be responsible for himself fully. Him being afraid to take responsibility literally for himself, because then he'll have to continue to sort of take responsibility for himself. But it's showing that he's aware of this. Okay, it's an awareness. Like he's very aware that he is childish, and he's aware that he has personality traits that allow him to sort of continue to be childish and continue to not grow. And he's okay with that because, he's sort of taken care of that way. But he's aware that he knows it's a problem, and he's aware that, but scared of that if he does take responsibility for himself, he's going to have to continue doing that. We get the angel card in the light attribute. And it's talking about helping those in need with no expectation of anything in return. That in itself speaks for itself. So moving on to the next card is the king in the shadow aspect. So it's talking about excessive feelings of entitlement and rulership without restraints. I think this kind of goes hand in hand with the childish kind of card, and it probably talks about just Baekhyun having a way of possibly throwing tantrums or acting out when he doesn't receive what he wants. Okay. And so the last card is Femme Fatale. It's talking about highlights erotic energy that the of the feminine and opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Okay, so again, this kind of talks about again Baekhyun's sort of childish, and it also mentions dependency. That kind of goes along with that, his dependency on other people to take care of him or to be responsible for his own actions. um, so it's saying that he's aware, he knows how to sort of handle himself when no one will take care of himself. I think that goes hand in hand as well with the saboteur card. He's aware that he can't rely that he is relying on other people to take care of him. But the femme fatale is talking about he is able to sort of understand and in a sense sometimes take care of himself if his dependency on others is rejected. Okay. So what I was also kind of getting from this is he knows how to use his charms, his own feminine charms, not masculine charms, feminine charms. Okay. All right. So moving on. So we're gonna go to where do I want to go? I'm gonna actually start with the tarot. Okay. So for the tarot, it's talking about justice, right? It says so we have the card for justice, the moon, the card for science, the card for change, the card for sorrow, the card for worry, the card for ruin, and King of Cups, which represents Baekhyun. Okay, and I feel like this is talking about a whole bunch of anxiety that Baekhyun is having because I feel like he's there's a change sort of happening within EXO, I believe, that he's aware of. It's like there's something that's going to be happening, and he doesn't think that it's a good idea. He kind of is like he feels like that people are fooling themselves into thinking that this change is going to be for the better. Excuse me. And he's kind of watching the workings of this new project, whatever is coming for SM or EXO. He's watching, he's seeing it in the works, and he's aware that things are about to change. The balance of the scales are about to tip, and you can see that scales and balance is kind of coming up in here. So he is aware. I really wish this would focus. He's really aware that there is going to be a shift in dynamics within EXO. Or even just within his own personal life and around him. He knows that there's going to be forced change. He himself is either fooling himself. No, he thinks they're fooling themselves. I'm sorry. He thinks they're fooling themselves into thinking it's a great idea. He himself has a lot of he doesn't like the change. It seems like he's very hurt by whatever change that is happening. He's very worried about it. He's worried that it will not benefit him, or you could say the group. And he thinks that it will bring them to ruin. Whatever is going on with Baekhyun and his life right now, or even within EXO, he feels like it's not going to be for the better. Okay, so following that, I also pulled some cards from my Halloween Oracle deck, and I got the Underworld, which could also be seen as another card for death or the end, not actual death. I'll put the end. It says where all things pause and begin, right? So the death card is also like end and rebirth, or a cycle, the beginning and the end, or it's starting with the ending of one thing to start a new, right? So then we have authenticity, authenticity and invisibility, right? The veil, and then midnight. So I feel like there's definitely going to be a change. I feel like Baekhyun is seeing some sort of change that's in the workings, either somebody possibly leaving, or maybe it's just himself feeling like his voice isn't heard. There may be a change, like a new group, maybe not even a new group, but there's something that's happening, and he's just like it's not going to be the same. That's how I kind of feel like he's thinking, like it's not going to be the same. It's not going to work the same. um, and he is trying to, it's like he doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to acknowledge the change, that whatever change is coming. But the veil, and also being the future coming right before midnight, right? The magical hour, the most magical hour of all. I feel like he knows time is running up, time is running out. Something is going to be happening for him personally or for EXO. And he's like, time is running out. I'm going to do a EXO career reading next when I get the chance. So don't worry about that, guys. But yeah, so he's worried about timing. He's worried about something coming very soon, being a change that's not really what he wants or he thinks will benefit them or the group. So the cards that came out for Archangel Gabriel is talking about deserving, allowing him to receive, and expressing his inner truth. So whatever is kind of on Baekhyun's mind is something that he does need to voice out. And I feel like more of deserving and allow yourself to receive is more so allow yourself to be heard. And I feel like Baekhyun is kind of, in this case, whatever may be going on, I feel like Baekhyun is not really, if even if he's voicing his opinion, he's not voicing it in a serious matter. You know what I mean? Like sort of playing around, joking. Um, but I feel like the express your inner truth kind of hit hard for me, and I felt like there was a sort of feeling like Baekhyun really truly needs to take himself seriously sometimes. And he really needs to be honest with himself and the people around him for matters that he actually really doesn't consider a joke, and to let it be known that he doesn't think it's a joke, whatever may be going on with him personally. Um, so also I was getting something about a relationship. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. But I was getting something about Baekhyun being in a relationship. I do know why. Oh, before I get into the romance cards, I'm actually going to go into what his guides want him to know. So, before we have leadership, and discipline, and I think that again kind of goes along with him being childish and whatnot. We've talked about this already, but I feel like he needs more discipline. This is what I'm kind of getting, like it is time for him to sort of grow and take initiative. And if he does not grow and take initiative, I feel like that he needs to be more obedient. Like it's saying, okay, if you're not going to discipline yourself, if you're not going to grow up, if you want to continue to be dependent, um and 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 not take care of yourself, I think it's just like then you need to learn how to listen to the people who are guiding you, who are leading you, who are especially if you look at this card, like you need to make sure that you are really sort of paying attention and listening to the people who are guiding you and leading you and elevating you to a higher level. Okay, so I started kind of thinking that maybe that there was something about a relationship going on when I started getting the rest of the cards from his guides, talking about solitude, partnership, and love, and epiphany, right? And then it continued to awareness, unconditional love, shadow, and deceit. Okay, so what I was kind of getting is like he needs to be by himself. Now, this can be platonic, guys, so you can take it however you want. If you don't want to imagine that he's possibly dating somebody. Um, it's saying kind of like he needs time to himself, away from this partnership and love. Like something about this partnership and love, he's going to have an epiphany about it, and he needs to be aware, right? Because even with unconditional love, I feel like the shadow and deceit, it's just like there's something hidden behind whatever love that he may be receiving, whatever love that he's indulging in right now. If it's receiving a love from a person who is an actual lover, or even if it's just a friend, because we have partnership and we also have unconditional love. So it could be a friend or a lover or both, okay? Because it's partnership and love. All right. So, but I feel like there's somebody in his life who is kind of showing a lot of love, but there's something dark behind it. Like even with this card now, I'm looking at it. Like it's just like giving this person, giving the heart and everything, and giving love. But at the same time, it's like this big dark shadow behind it. So I feel like there's somebody in his life who's sort of betraying him and he doesn't know it. Okay. So I checked the romance card to see if there was anything that would come out for him romantically. And it is actually talking about separation, which is what the almost like the first, where is it? Okay. Kind of made me think of solitude, like being by yourself. So we have separation, you deserve love, and reconciliation. So I feel like either it could be an ex person coming back in his life, um, an ex probably coming back in his life and probably trying to show him a lot of love or trying to reconcile with him and become friends again. Or it's somebody that he needs to currently separate with, stay friends with, but not be lovers. I think it's like separate, you deserve love, but reconcile with this person and keep it PG, I guess. Okay. So okay, we're about to hit the 20 mark. I want to keep this short. So the other card I got is Death and Journey. These are new cards. My mother got me these, but I like these. So what stood out to me here, telephone stands out to me right now, and it says the couple communicates. This is not what you express. I'm sorry, it is not what you express, but the change is caused by what you express. Take a good look at how you communicate with people. And kind of by reading this, it could be whatever this is, could also be as a result to Baekhyun's ways of being as well. So what else do we have? Okay, it says the sun. It says the sun shines brightly on fields of grain. The independent are dependent where it counts. Cure anxiety by accepting your true dependencies. And we were just talking about Baekhyun having a habit of being very dependent. Okay, so it's talking about again, just like the what is this card? The saboteur card. Just like this card, it's talking about was it this card? I'm sorry, the femme fatale card. It's actually talking about sort of acknowledging when he is very dependent on other people and accepting that and being able to understand and work around his own dependencies in order to better himself. Okay, so the next card I got was Increase, and also known as Journey card. And so what stands out to me on this card, let me see what stands out. So, fireworks. Fireworks go off in the night sky. We celebrate our success to let them go. Each day, affirm the new life which has happened. So, I kind of feel like this is more talking about letting certain things go career wise. I don't know. That's what kind of comes to mind. And it's just like sort of celebrate what you are, what you have, what you've been through, and learn to sort of let go that maybe you don't have that anymore, or there's changes coming and you will not be able to do what you previously did before now. I've just been getting this kind of overwhelming kind of there's a change coming. So that's what I kind of feel like it's speaking on. Okay. Okay. So I think scoreboard. The final score tells us who won the game. Winning is less important than how we get there. Each day increase your value. I'm not sure exactly on what that is speaking about because that just kind of stood out. And just to let you know, what I kind of do is I just look at it and whatever my eye is drawn to immediately, I'll just read that. Okay. But I see Baekhyun may also have a very competitive spirit in him. But we're going to move on because I'm trying to keep this under 25 minutes so my computer doesn't crash. Okay, so as you can see, I only brought out a few cards for my self-care cards. And they're basically saying clearing, meaning, I think, hold on, it came out first. Listen, awareness, and clearing. Okay. So listening, especially when it comes to Baekhyun, who wants to be dependent, who wants to be a dependent person. Again, this is talking about, right? Him needing to listen and follow instructions and be a little more obedient. Because what I'm getting is he's a very, very dependent type of person, but he doesn't listen well. Awareness. What does awareness say? Awareness says practice present moment awareness. The meaning you yearn for is in the ever present now. Okay, but I feel like it's more like being aware of himself, aware of his needs, aware of his tendencies. Um, and I feel like clearing comes out to just talk about kind of clearing all the toxic energy that he may have carrying with him. I think when he learns to follow instructions a little better, when he learns to listen to himself and also listen to those who are helping guide him, since he wants their guidance, he'll be able to clear out a lot of mental clutter, physical clutter, and just be able to move more freely. Okay. So that's all I have for you guys today. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it under 25. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, guys. Bye.